Welcome back. Even though Governor John Kasic of Ohio won only one primary, Ohio, last year, he developed a reputation as a Republican who was willing to work with Democrats and really say what's on his mind. On Friday, he had an op-ed column in the New York Times arguing that Democrats created Obamacare without Republican support and that Republicans are now trying to repeal and rewrite the law without Democrats. He says Democrats were wrong then and Republicans are wrong now. Governor Kasich joins me now. Not surprising to hear something like that from
Well, it's not sustainable. If you don't get both parties together, nothing is sustainable. I mean, if they pass this just by themselves, we'll be back at this again.
In 3 years when Democrats take over, whatever it is.
Well, you know, look, the other thing is, I was there when we created the CHIP program, the health program for children. It was done on a bipartisan basis. It was sustainable. I was there in '97 when we did the budget deal. I was one of the architects. It was sustainable. But when you jam something through just one party over another, it's not sustainable. It becomes a point of attack.
All right, I want to get to some of the substance of this new bill. Here's what Vice President Pence said to an Ohio TV station, clearly lobbying you and Senator Portman. Take a listen.
I'm very confident that this legislation will give Ohio both the resources and the flexibility that your governor, your legislature will need to be able to meet those needs going forward and literally offer our most vulnerable citizens even better coverage.
Is he right?
No, he's not right. I mean, first of all, Medicaid expansion, which has covered 700,000 people in my state, a big chunk of whom are mentally ill and drug addicted and have chronic diseases. They tend to churn and move off of that program. Then they have to go to an exchange that's broken. Look, the bill needs fixed. The current system doesn't work. That's why it's possible to get Democrats involved. But you want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And let me just ask you this, Chuck. If I put you on an exchange for your family and I give you a $4,000 tax credit or a $3,000 tax credit, what kind of insurance are you going to buy for $3,000?
Are you going to offer any? Well, the Medicaid, will you be able to offer that in the state of Ohio?
Well, that'll be up to the private market. But what I would tell you is the exchange needs to be fixed because in some places there's only one insurance company. I mean, that can be fixed. I've said it all along. It's not like we love Obamacare. It means don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't kill Medicaid expansion. You've got to fix the exchange, but you have to have an ability to subsidize people at lower income levels. Chuck, let's forget all this. Here's what we're talking about. If you're drug addicted, if you're mentally ill, you have to consistently see the doctor.
Right.
From what I see in this House bill, the resources are not there. If you're chronically ill, you're going to have consistent coverage. Under this bill, you don't have it. Now, my hope is it's probably going to pass the House. It's going to get to the Senate, and that's where I hope that they will make improvements. And that's where I hope Democrats will come in and work with Republicans to bring about the improvements so we can reform the system, yet still not cut off these people that need this help.
Before we figure out how you incentivize Democrats to get involved in this, let me ask you about President Trump here. Because candidate Trump made it seem as if he was open to a lot of ideas, including maybe expanding Medicaid in one interview with me, but certainly saying there was going to be insurance for everyone. There wasn't going to be people that were going to be priced out of the market. He is supporting this bill. How he obviously has spent, I know he's been lobbying you and you've been lobbying him back and forth. You guys have spent a lot of time talking about this. Do you think he is firm on this bill or is he negotiable?
Well, how can I speak for him? But if I were to guess, no, I think that he's very open to compromise. He's told me that. For example, he and I talked about this significant increase in pharmaceutical costs, drug costs, and Medicaid.
Do you think the right's pushing this bill too far?
Look, what's happening. Look, this bill right now, I'm the governor of the state. I have to take, with my people, we have to treat people who have these illnesses. And the fact of the matter is, it will put us in a bind. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't fix this along the way. But we need to have Democrats involved so that what we do is going to be not only significant, but will last. And then we get to the real problem, Chuck, which is the rising costs of health care. And that's where Santelli really hit the nail on the head. We need to get to more of a market-driven system where we pay for quality, not for quantity in health care.
You know, you said you were talking about incentivizing Democrats.
I think the president, by the way, would be flexible. I have no doubt about that he would be flexible. He just wants to get something through.
The idea of getting Democrats involved here. The other day, President Trump kind of expressed what sounded like a conspiracy theory about Obamacare and implosion in 2017. Take a listen.
17 would be a disaster for Obamacare. That's the year it was meant to explode because Obama won't be here. That was when it was supposed to be It'll get even worse. As bad as it is now, it'll get even worse.
Is this any way to incentivize Democrats to get involved? If you go down this road of saying, oh, it's a conspiracy, and they were hoping that it would implode
Chuck,
when it wasn't in his watch?
we're all big boys and girls in this town. I mean, if you really want to be a leader, look, I believe the political parties are disintegrating before our very eyes. I think more and more people across this country see no purpose for political parties.
Do you?
Because I'll tell you something. It's you talk to people, there are more and more independents because of the squabbling. What's at risk here to Democrats is you can't turn your back on these people. And to Republicans, you need to invite Democrats in because we're talking about lives. We're not talking all this consumption with who gains politically. You know, life is short. And if all you focus on in life is what's in it for me, you're a loser. You are a big-time loser. And this country better be careful. We're not losing the soul of our country because we play politics and we forget people who are in need.
If you were just a citizen and not an elected official, would you be a member of the Republican Party right now?
Well, I'm not going to be a Democrat because the problem is they're top-down people. The Republicans should be bottom-up. And I think right now they're trying to fulfill campaign promises, but I have to tell you that you have to put people first, and we have to drive a system from the bottom up.
You sound like a guy ready to move to the independent wing of
No, I'm a Republican because I'm a conservative, but we have to always examine our beliefs and our philosophies. Right. And I would say on this bill, you have to be in a position of where you reform the system, but you don't leave people behind. You just can't do it because these are people that could be in your family, live right next door to you. We have to care about people, and we can get this done. We can reform it, we can change it, we can save money and have a better system. I don't have any doubt about it. We can do it, and we could do it. I can prove it to you in my state where we have controlled Medicaid and yet been able to reach out and help so many people who live in the shadows.
Nothing more contagious sometimes than your enthusiasm for policy. It's always good to have you on, sir. Governor John Kasic,
Thank you,
Republican from Ohio. Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and then click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.